It's week 2 of the National Football League, and we'll see the Texans and Browns square off for just the 12th time. Can Houston take an 8-4 lead in the series? We'll find out next.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. And for the first time, here comes the Cleveland Browns offense. Quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield, fourth-year man from Oklahoma.
And while we can quibble a little bit about statistics, to me, Baker Mayfield's coming off his best season yet. 26 touchdown passes, cut way down on his turnovers, and led the Browns to a playoff victory for the first time since 1994. This young man continues to mature as both a passer and a leader.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and hoping for more here in Week 2. He'll buy some time right. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
That's not good enough, man.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Hey, alert 33. Watch the screen.
Following the penalty, Chubb. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short game. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics. But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans ready to take over here on offense, and it's Deshaun Watson at the controls in his 5th season now in the NFL.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
Pushing through the contact. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
And that was a pleasing run from Phillip Lindsay coming over from the Denver Broncos to join now a crowded backfield with the Houston Texans. But why is it so crowded? Because they finished 31st in the league last year in rushing, and they're trying to find anyone who can lead them and get that running game moving in Houston.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Oh, it's a jet sweep. Here comes Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already. So he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early, as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey, and they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place.
Oh, now Lindsey lost the football, and I think the Browns got it. They did. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
A quick throw complete out to Beckham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football, as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Let's go, you tighten up. Let's go, you tighten up.
They go play action. Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kevin Pierre-Louis. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
3rd and long for Mayfield. It's caught by Hooper, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Chubb. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has the better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go.
And this time he is in. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Houston's offense taking over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Touchdown, Houston. Phillip Lindsay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
A give. This is Chubb. Running right through him. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Chubb. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Mayfield looks to throw. He completes it to Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham as the first half is winding down. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Texans' new punter for 2021, Cameron Johnston, on to punt. As he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We begin in the Midwest. Venerable Soldier Field is the site for Cincinnati taking on Chicago in their home opener. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Nelson Aguilar, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And even though they've got work to do on the scoreboard, their running game has been solid. Over 100 yards rushing in that first half. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they didn't have quite the same kind of success running the football, but still, not bad for one half of play. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland, and to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
On first down, it's Watson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Andrew Billings able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
2nd and 14. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with third and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Going deep this time for Miller. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 31, Mayfield. High throw, but the catch is made. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now Chubb. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 107 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run it again with Chubb. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
50 seconds to mine. 50 seconds to mine. Stay with your man.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield rolling to his right. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a 1st down.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. That's a gain of 7, and will leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. They'll give it to Chubb. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Mayfield keeps it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Yeah, I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and the lead is now 24. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Watson's throw here taken in by Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding, probably his agent, as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Watson. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Chris Conley, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans get a bit closer. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. That's caught. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And again, it's Chubb. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And even 150 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Stays on it. Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And the Texans scoop it. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnovers.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And the fumble recovery was an important first step, but still a huge fourth quarter hole to dig out of. Down 3 scores. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He'll check this down to Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Watson now to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years of not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Time to go to work. Let's go.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, Watson. And Cooks has it over the middle. 7 yards the pick up there. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. There again is Cooks, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. To the air yet again. Watson, back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A shotgun snap for Watson. He dumps it underneath here to Lindsey. And the Texans are going to be set up with a first and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now it's Watson. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting it.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Chris Conley. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. They run again on first down, Chubb. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Chubb running right, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable. And both of them came together.
So for the Browns, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers.